After a refreshing vacation in the serene mountains, James was eager to return to his cozy cottage in Ridgewood Park, Virginia. The break had rejuvenated him, but nothing compared to the thought of reuniting with his loyal German shepherd, Max. As he stepped through the door, a wave of nostalgia washed over him, but an unsettling silence filled the air. "Max," he called out, his voice echoing in the stillness. Yet, there was no excited bark or wagging tail to greet him. Confused, James kicked off his shoes and began searching the house, calling for his furry companion. But as he entered the living room, horror gripped his heart. Blood splatters adorned the walls and door, a shocking sight that sent a chill down his spine. Panic surged through him as he shouted for Max again. This time, the German shepherd emerged, trembling and clearly distressed. James felt a mix of relief and dread. What had happened in his absence? He cautiously nudged the living room door open, revealing a scene of chaos. Furniture was overturned, and belongings were strewn about, as if a storm had swept through. In that moment, the truth hit him like a thunderbolt. His friend Emily, who had promised to care for Max, hadn't been able to make it one evening. The realization that something terrible had transpired while he was away left him reeling. James had always cherished his quiet life. As a history professor, he found solace in teaching and the peaceful surroundings of his cottage. Max was more than a pet. He was family. Rescued from a shelter, Max had been a loyal companion through thick and thin, providing unwavering support during James's solitary moments. When summer approached, James decided it was time for a much-needed escape. He envisioned a mountain retreat, a chance to recharge. However, finding accommodations that allowed dogs proved challenging. Thankfully, Emily stepped in, offering to look after Max. James felt relieved, trusting her to care for his beloved dog. As James drove home, memories of his vacation filled his mind. He had longed for this moment, to see Max and take him on a long walk. But upon arriving, the reality of the situation shattered his anticipation. The blood on the walls hinted at a confrontation, and Max's fearful demeanor suggested he had been through something traumatic. James knelt beside Max, checking for injuries. To his relief, the dog seemed physically unharmed, but the emotional toll was evident. The bond they shared was palpable, and James felt a surge of pride for his brave companion. It was clear that Max had defended their home against intruders. The police were called, and as officers arrived, they praised Max for his protective instincts. They assured James they would look for any individuals seeking medical attention for dog bites. Despite the chaos, James felt a sense of gratitude for Max's bravery. The cottage, once a sanctuary, now felt tainted by the intrusion. But he knew he had to reclaim it. Emily rushed over, her concern evident. She wrapped James in a comforting hug, and together, they processed the night's events. James reassured her that the break-in wasn't her fault, yet guilt lingered in the air. Days turned into weeks as James and Max stayed with Emily, who tirelessly helped restore the cottage to its former glory. She even researched security systems, encouraging James to take proactive measures for their safety. Slowly, life began to stabilize, and the bond between James and Emily deepened. One evening, sitting by the fireplace with Max at his feet, James reflected on the tumultuous months. The break-in had been frightening, but it had also brought unexpected blessings. Inspired by his feelings for Emily, he decided to take a leap of faith and invite her to dinner. When her enthusiastic response came through, James felt a wave of happiness wash over him. Perhaps this was the beginning of something beautiful. The ordeal had tested their strength, but ultimately reinforced the bonds of friendship and loyalty. As James looked at Max, he knew they had overcome the worst together. The break-in had been a nightmare, but it led to a renewed appreciation for life, love, and the unwavering loyalty of a dog. What about you? Have you ever experienced a moment that changed your perspective on loyalty and friendship?